Glenn Beck telling us, just throwing about every word, negative word he can find against the Obama administration and seeing what sticks to his crazy tree. Let's watch.
Tonight, I will ask you, how many times do we have to find a Marxist, a communist, a socialist, a revolutionary, or what seems amazing to me, a simple anti-capitalist near or around or advising the President of the United States before we, as a people, ask the question? This is stunning. We have Van Jones. We tied him yesterday, tied him together with right directly to Obama and right directly to the Apollo Alliance. Here's Jeff Jones. Put the picture of Jeff Jones up again, please. Jeff Jones is an interesting character. Jeff Jones is the founder of the Weather Underground, right?
That's correct.
What else has he done?
Well, Jeff has been involved not just in those terrorist activities with the Weather Underground. He was actually part of the Weather Bureau, modeled on the Politburo, which was the high leadership where he was with Bill Ayers.
He was also a
Jones
weatherman in
was
Phoenix.
on the run, hiding from the law for about a decade before he was finally caught in a dramatic raid where his 4-year-old child saw him arrested in 1981. He then became an advisor to environmental groups, to labor organizations, and to the New York State government, where he sits on a commission for Governor Patterson.
Hold on just a second. You hear this, what he did? Labor groups, think of SEIU and all the unions. Oh, and by the way, did anybody notice that the head of the Fed here in New York is now the former head of the AFL-CIO? That shouldn't be any problem.
Not related to that guy
Corruption
at all.
Corruption with finances, New York and the unions? No, that's crazy. Okay,
yes,
so
it is.
labor unions and environmental projects. Van Jones, Green Jobs czar. Okay, we have Rashid
What's
Khalid,
the connection?
who is a radical in his own
Has a Muslim name.
right, tied directly to Barack Obama.
But I tied to because I've
the
drawn an
movement for
arrow from
democratic
his name
society.
to Barack Obama's name.
Communist movement, a movement for a democratic society.
You'll notice here,
communist movement.
I've also written the word communist
was it
movement
founded?
on the same blackboard.
It was just recently founded in 2006.
2006.
That is a year that we've had in this country.
We have Carl Davidson, Progressives for. They're all connected.
They're all
Davidson
connected.
is
How?
connected
I've
to the new
connected
party,
them
which is
with
connected
arrows,
to the Movement
and
for
then at the
Democratic
top of it
Society,
is
to
Obama.
Progressives, to Van Jones, to Jeff Jones. It's all connected. These people down here are radicals. There is no way they may have been adding business people and everybody else, but they're basically radicals. Here's what's happening, America. The radicals are all down here. They start to filter up, and they come through the places like the Apollo Alliance, and they filter up, and they're scrubbed clean, so they don't look like radicals anymore. But they're all tied here. The question you have to ask.
What's that, Glenn?
Obama never said that he was. He claimed that he was a Marxist. He listened to Marxist professors. He was a radical.
Claimed he was a
blah,
Marxist.
blah, blah, blah. But he was very young. When did he ever stand up and say, I reject Marxist principles? He'll laugh about it. I reject Marxist principles. I reject these people. Marxist. I reject them. He hasn't. Should we ask him for that?
No.
When has Obama ever come out and said he is not a dragon? He has never said it.
Right.
So there's some chance he's a dragon. All we're doing is show us your papers and prove to us that you are not in league with your dragon friends.
Do you know who Philip Hearst is? Philip Hearst, do you have any idea? Okay.
No.
Philip Hearst was a kid I went to school with who played Dungeons and, say it with me now, Dragons. Played Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, so Philip Hearst is a member of the Dragon Alliance of America. Okay? The Dragon.
Did you write it down? Write it down on your
Dragon
board.
Alliance of America. There's this connection between Phil Hearst and the Dragon Alliance of America. Okay? All right? Do you know what the Dragon Alliance does? Do you have any idea?
No.
Okay, neither do I. Okay, so the Dragon Alliance of America, the DAA. The DAA. Do you know who they're connected to?
Who?
Kyle Secor. Do you know who he is?
No.
He's an actor, okay? He was on Homicide. Love Homicide, okay? What's that show called?
Homicide.
Homicide. They commit crimes. And again, he's an actor. You know who else was in that show?
Who?
Other actors. Other actors who are in what? Say it with me.
Dragons?
No, we're away from dragons. They are in unions. I'm drawing a line. Unions. Yeah, and Hollywood actors are also what?
Liberals?
Liberals. Okay, liberals. Liberals. Who do they support in general for president?
Obama.
At the top of the tree. Obama is connected. It's just so you start here with 12-year-olds playing a game about dragons, and it weaves its way up. Barack Obama. He has at no point rejected being a dragon. Never said it. Never said it. Not one time. Should we ask that question? I think we should.
But did you notice how he skipped from things? Ben's exactly right. He would just draw the arrows.
Yeah.
He'd be like, man from the Weather Underground. Mm-hmm. At some point involved with labor unions. Mm-hmm. SEIU. Van Jones.
The New York Fed. The AFL-CIO.
Huh. Governor Patterson. Barack Obama. Mm-hmm. He just says the words. It doesn't mean anything. They're not connected. My favorite is Jeff Jones, Van Jones. And you know what I figured out as he was drawing all these things, and he does this all the time. A lot of times he'll use an actual tree, and he'll show the roots.
I didn't know they've clearly discovered the blackboard at the Glenn Beck show.
Yeah. No, as he was writing things down on the board frantically, I realized he's a beautiful mind.
Yeah.
He's lost his mind. I mean, if you go to his house, I'm sure that he's written things all over the walls. You know, like Van Jones, SEIU, Acorn, Obama.
I'm going to make a prediction. I've made a lot of predictions on the show. Most of them never come true. I predicted that George Bush would say the word presidenting before he was finished. He did not.
That's true.
I missed that one. I think he'll still say it in his life. I loved presidenting. Glenn Beck will leave the air at Fox News under circumstances out of his control.
That is a bold prediction. But you
I
got
don't
to
know
give
the time frame.
You got to give Glenn credit though. That scrub clean part is true. They did it to me. Put me under a shower and they're like, scrub this guy clean, and then we'll put him out and put him on a chalkboard with Obama. It's true. They do it. They
Obama,
do it.
the dragon president.
Think about it.